folks. Welcome. This is Wayne S. Pierce for American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. How are ya? Oh, the 8th of November, 2017. How you doing? God, lots of things going on. I come into the studio and power's off. Somehow. I mean, my computer was shut off and my speakers were shut off and, technical issues behind the scenes. And I'm like, what? But other things were on, which was kind of strange. So I don't know. So, yeah. I have no clue, folks. I have a background in electronics and electrical work, and I still don't know. That baffles me. But anyway. Hey, morning all. Yeah, so what a trip. What a freaking trip. It's amazing to me. Let me start out by saying this. It's amazing to me that there are people out there who are and it's amazing to me that there are people out there who actually don't like this president. Vehemently, just totally vehemently do not like this president at all. Okay? Just really, really do not like him at all. Okay? I'm amazed by that. I mean, here he is. He's trying to make America better. He's trying to, get rid of all of the just garbage stuff from the previous administration that's costing this country billions, if not trillions of dollars every year or every period. And people hate him. People hate him. Why? Why are they hating him? Okay, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I wish I did. I'd probably have a better outlook on these people, but they don't. They hate this man. There's absolutely no tolerance for this man from certain groups of people. And it just really amazes me. And what really has taken me by surprise is the fact that people that call themselves my friend, that are, quote unquote, I put friends in air quotes, that are on my friends list on Facebook and on social media, and they vehemently hate this person. But they look at me and go, but I love you, and I like you, and I can agree with some of the stuff you say, but I hate this man in the White House. To me, that's just incredible hypocrisy to me. In terms of love, generosity, supportiveness, that kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, is it me? I don't know. Am I wearing a big sign that says, I like the president and what he's doing? No, I don't. And I'm not. So it kind of weighs on me, because I'll tell you straight up, folks. I'm going to tell you straight up. This is transparent here. I'm not going to, I'm not going to hold back anymore or pull any punches. I didn't vote for this man. Matter of fact, I didn't vote at all. Okay? Because of the divide in the country right now. And since 2012. That was the last time I voted. There's this whole issue about, well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to bitch. Yeah, I do, because you're the ones that put this man in office. You're the one that put the last administration in office. You're the one that put the Bushes in office. So don't complain to me. You're barking up the wrong tree here when you complain about what you did. Okay? I have no horse in this race. I've told you that in the presidential campaigns. I have no horse in this race. I knew who was going to win because nobody wanted Hillary or Bernie Sanders. Well, I can't say no one. There were people that voted for him. But it was the emails, it was all the stuff that was coming out about her talking about, former President Obama and all this, and it was all that. It was just all the intolerance that people were not going to suffer under anymore. It was done. People were done with the Clintons. Okay? And we see that now after about a year, you know what I mean? So we look at the various aspects of this grand divide that we have in the United States. And people are always, putting out these, positive, little helpful self-improvement things, kind of that type of message of, well, I love you and I enjoy and we can talk and we can discuss, but I can disagree with you respectively. You know what? I like those people. Let's sit down with more of those people, okay? Because these people I like. Okay? It's the other ones that just look at me and go, you're wrong, and why do you talk that way, and you're this, and you're that, and what? Yeah, it just amazes me that people vehemently hate this president, but talk about love and generosity and equality and all that. And that's okay, because now let me help you understand where I grew up. Stockton, California, where intolerance was the key to that divide in that city. Because there were so many things going on that people were aware of but didn't do anything about, that they would sit in their, in their palaces of religion and say, well, we have to pray for them. As if that's going to change anything. When they didn't even understand why the neighborhood or why the community or why that part of the city was as bad as it was. They don't like being inconvenienced. And they're the most intolerant people on the face of this planet, I believe, or in that city in Stockton, California, where I grew up. I was born and raised there. And I understand that city. And I understand how that divide was created and how that whole mindset, that collective mindset was in the religious communities. Except there are about 2 or 3, religions that never really, got into the whole issue of what Christians were intolerant of. They just went, hey, let life be life. Let things be as they are. And, so I never really understood why people would want, number one, create a divide. I think it's because of ego and self-centeredness, but I don't know. But they've been indoctrinated to create that divide. And number two, I think it has a lot to do with personal environments where you were raised. Your family, your friends, your aunts, your uncles, grandparents, whatever, your own home, how you were raised. So, it has a lot to do with that as well. But in Stockton, California, where I was born and raised, there was, when I was a teenager, there weren't as many gangs and gang shootings and all of that when I was in high school. But later on, like 20 years later, my God, it was a freaking war zone in some places. And to develop your life and to carry on and to do the best you can in an environment like that in the city, you just had to keep going. There were parts of the city you couldn't go into even in the daylight. Now, thankfully, there's a lot more police presence in certain areas. And crime and homicides and all of that have gone down a little bit comparatively year to date, go look at the statistics. Startpage.com, Stockton, California crime rate, and look at the statistics. I mean, it'll here. Let me do that. Stockton, California crime rate statistics. See, I got to spell it out because Anyway, neighborhoodscout.com. The statistics for Stockton. Okay, it's like, where is all the? I mean, seriously, how? Let me look here. I gotta find where I grew up. It's somewhere. Yeah, so I'll find it. But anyway, the crime rates. Number of crimes in Stockton, just crimes, whatever they are, is 4,138 violent crimes. Property crimes, 13,617. Vandalism, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Property crimes, Stockton crimes per square mile, 274 as compared to the national median of 32.85. California is 90. Yeah, so looking in my specific zip code, let me go. I gotta find my specific zip code where I used to live. It's one of those things, folks, when you look at, and I'm going to talk about crime here for the first little bit. Why is it that people really what causes them to create a criminal environment? Okay. 640 vital statistics, 30 condition alerts found, and this is in my neighborhood where I grew up. Real estate, 44, 3 alerts. Demographics, 136 statistics, 2 alerts. Crimes, 67, 2 alerts. Schools, 65 statistics, 10 alerts. Trends and forecasts, 328 statistics, and 13 alerts. Now, this is going, this is not crime. This is pretty much what the neighborhood is. That's the demographics of the neighborhood. That is, what is there. This is, But the crime rate at neighborhoodscout.com, the crime rate is what I've said it before. Violent, 4,138. Crime rate, 13.5% per 1,000 residents, or 13.54 per 1,000 residents. Okay. My chances of becoming a victim of violent crime in Stockton is 1 in 74. In California is 235. Now, where does this come from? Where do all these statistics come from? I mean, it literally, I'm gonna get that whole website on American Liberty Radio Podcast for you guys to check your own neighborhoods. And I'm multitasking here, folks. Sorry. check out your own neighborhoods and show see what's happening in your areas and go from there. But it's neighborhoodscout.com. Neighborhoodscout.com. It's on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I didn't want to harp on that too long because I wanted to get to this article, but let me finish up my point and say this. Why are people committing crimes? It's because of their environment. You look at the demographics of young teenagers, so from 14 to 18, young adults from 16 to 24, and 18 to 30, and you will see, and you look at their neighborhoods, you look at how they were raised, you look at their family structure, you look at economics, you look at all of that. You look at all of that, and you will see why people want to commit crimes. And it has nothing to do with skin color, has nothing to do with, ideologies, it has everything to do with all of it. There's no one specific thing in that whole demographics that says, well, this is why, the one point is why, this is why it is. No, it's all of it. It's all of it. It's the intolerance of the churches, it's the inequality of the city councils, it's the, nobody knows how to manage their life anymore in a positive direction. My grandmother taught me how to be positive and look forward and go beyond the boundaries and get outside of the box and look that way. And my mother did the same thing and helped me along after my grandmother passed. But, it's that whole thing developed. So no, I'm not intolerant with other people, but I'm wondering why there are so many, people divided on so many different concepts and what their true ideology is for America. What is their concept of what they want in America? I would say, and I'm just going to venture a guess here, about 75% of you here in the United States of America, and I'm talking a good chunk of the population of 320 million people, a good 75% of you want open borders, everybody come in, get everything for free, all of that. Now, I may be overlooking something, but that's what I see. And when you look at those specific groups of people that want that, you're looking at Democratic socialists, you're looking at Republican fascists, you're looking at the Progressive Party, you're looking at those that supported Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and any number of other people that want to create more of a divide. I'm all for immigration legally. I'm all for equality when it promotes the strength and viability of the neighborhood and the community and the city. I'm all for that. But there's always going to be somebody who is going to be in conflict to that very thing, whatever that thing is. It's just, it twists my mind in many different directions to see people sit there and say, well, I love you, but I disagree with you on this, or and this person's against equality, but I like his policy over here. No. Time out. Get rid of all those thoughts. Get rid of however you've looked at all of this and just dump it all and ask yourself, what do I want America to be for me? What do I want the United States of America to be for me? Then take the steps to look at everything else in a new perspective. Okay? When you promote peace, freedom, liberty, and security for America from that new perspective, guess what? You're going to see a lot of flaws, not only in yourself, but in other people. And you're going to see, wait a minute, that person was saying this, but they're voting for this, or they're doing this. That's hypocritical. I don't want them on my city council. I don't want them in my government. So with new eyes and a new perspective on peace, freedom, liberty, and security, you need to ask yourself, what do I want the United States of America to be for me? It's easy, folks. It's truly easy. I've been this way for over 20 years. Yeah. So think about it, folks. Don't look, take a moment to reflect upon what is and look at those things that you were carrying with you for many, many years and ask yourself, are they viable and workable today? If they aren't, throw them in the trash. Why not? Why not? Anyway, 20 minutes of that. Hey, I want you to interact with me. I want you to interact with me. So I want you to go to American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook, and I want you to interact with me. I want you to talk with me. I want you to, post stuff there. I want you to, like and share the page, American Liberty Radio Podcast. I want you to let me know what your view of this is. Okay, what do you want America? What do you want the United States of America to be for you? You tell me. You show me what's on your mind. American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook. So anyway. And, of course, if you want to send me a private email, you can do that at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. So, onward and upward. Nationwide anti-Trump temper tantrum takes place today. Liberals will, quote, scream helplessly at the sky, unquote, over losing the election. 8th of November, 2017, Infowars.com, Paul Joseph Watson. On the anniversary of the presidential election, anti-Trump liberals will gather at events across the country today to express their rage by, quote, screaming helplessly at the sky, unquote. Despite one of the primary events being canceled, many similar get-togethers will take place from Austin to Chicago, where leftists will literally engage in mass open-air temper tantrums to signal how upset they are that Hillary lost. The total of 26 different events are planned, and some conservatives have responded by vowing to attend, quote, watch parties, unquote, where they will bring along lawn chairs and popcorn and to enjoy the show. According to the London Evening Standard, up to 10,000 people are expected to gather at Washington Square Park in New York City, where organizer Nathan Wall says critics are expected to show up, quote, just to laugh, unquote, at the protesters. Protesters in Eugene, Oregon already staged their tantrum earlier today, where they let loose with primal scream therapy. Go look that one up, folks. Leftists who can't make it to the organized events are being encouraged to just randomly scream at the sky wherever they may be. Quote, just imagine for a moment the gorgeous videos that will come out of these scream fests, unquote, wrote Deborah Hine. Yeah, let me put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I'm as you can tell, words escape me. As you can tell, the ignorance is at an all-time high from these people. I honestly have to laugh at these really small-minded liberals that say they're pissed off that Trump won and Hillary lost. I am so... I just want to laugh at them. I mean, they're going to go outside of their houses and scream. They're going to go outside of their houses and jump up and down and scream and throw a temper tantrum. And that right there just shows me one thing, folks. All you far-left liberals out there, the Progressive Party, let me tell you, and even some of you Republicans out there, let me tell you, that just shows me that you are the most childish, inept people in this freaking country. You should not even be in any type of leadership role. You shouldn't be in government. You shouldn't be anywhere near anybody else because you are the most ignorant people on the planet. I'm not holding back, folks. Consider this, though. Consider this. Time out. Just hold on. Consider this. Hillary Clinton tried to take over the DNC, take over the Democratic Party, basically throwing Bernie Sanders under the bus, and became this icon of just, liberal womanhood. What's her name? Gloria Steinem or whatever the hell it is. She's a publisher. Touted her and Rosie O'Donnell, all these people. Now, what I said earlier in my opening monologue was basically directed at what Hillary Clinton wanted to do. Open the borders, let everybody in, just get rid of all limitations and regulations that would hold people back. You know what I mean? And don't give me this crap that it wouldn't have happened, because she has so much power. Well, then, a year ago, she had so much power that it was really beginning to corrupt the inner workings of the Democratic Party. Did it? Yes, we see it a year later. The Democratic Party is imploding upon itself because of what she was doing. Go look at all the evidence behind her, okay, that showed how she was destroying the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. She basically is destroying the parties in the United States because of her actions. Because the Republicans can't do anything when the Democrats are stopping them from doing something, creative and resourceful and positive for America. It's just a giant gridlock. So what happens is that the Republicans are just basically, pissing on themselves and arguing with themselves and really destroying themselves from within because the Democratic Socialist and the Republican Fascist of the Progressive Party are basically destroying politics as we see it in the United States of America. And Hillary Clinton is on one side, and I have no clue. It was Schumer or somebody is on the other side, her opposite, whatever person is on the opposite side of that. I don't know. But she is basically destroying both parties, or wanted to. Word has come out since the inauguration of President Donald J. Trump that, and evidence backs this up, that Hillary Clinton wanted to completely, if not eliminate, completely restrict the First Amendment to her types of people. The intolerance of the left. She wanted to restrict, if not completely abolish, the Second Amendment. And the Republicans would have gone right along with it. The ones in the Progressive Party. And literally, because of the emails, because of all of that, and you liberals out there, just shut your mouth, because the evidence is stacked so high against Hillary Clinton. You guys absolutely should just turn around and tuck your tail between your legs and walk away in shame, because the emails, all of the corruption, all of the money coming from Saudis and from George Soros into the Democratic Party and into her account and all this, and just all of it. The corruption is just running rampant through the Democratic Party. You're going to have people who are intolerant of those things. You're going to have people literally both supporting and are against those things I just mentioned. Okay? Here's the solution, folks. Get rid of all political parties. Get rid of every single last one of them. I'm going to go to break. Put the people back in power. Put the people back into the houses of government or governance. And let them do what they have to do to make this country great again. And just do what we have to. Get rid of Washington, D.C. and get rid of both political parties. I'll be right back after this.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Growing up terrestrial radio, the future is here. Destroying the liberal media one truth bomb at a time. Independent media is shattering the liberal national security media into a million pieces. Their views of the world are based on the script the government gives them. Independent media seeks out and finds the truth and reports on what is truly going on behind the scenes. Support the truth and facts. Support independent media. American Liberty Radio Network. Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce, American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. You can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. And so, yes, if you have anything you want to tell me, hey, positive, negative, tell me to piss off, what the heck, You can email me. Yes, please do. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. So anyway, what do we got, folks? Well, let me tell you what we got. Donna Brazile threw Hillary Clinton under the bus. Basically threw her under the bus. Hillary's campaign was a cult, according to Donna Brazile. Insider acknowledges Clinton has serious health issues. Appearing on MSNBC's Morning Joe Wednesday, former interim Democratic National Committee Chair Donna Brazile said that Hillary Clinton's failed 2016 presidential campaign was like a cult. When Joe Scarborough asked, why did they lose? What was it at the end of the day? Arrogance? Unquote. Brazile gave a very telling answer. Excuse me. She said, yes, Joe, it was a cult. I felt like it was a cult. You could not penetrate them, unquote. Brazile explained that her role was severely hampered by not being allowed too far inside the campaign. Quote, I cannot help a candidate if I don't have the resources, unquote. She said, quote, if I cannot spend the resources that the party is raising because there's a blind agreement, unquote. Brazile claimed in her book that the Democratic nomination process was rigged as Hillary Clinton was allowed to take control of fundraising and the distribution of DNC funds before any primary votes were cast. Brazile has since backtracked from the claims, stating Tuesday in an interview that she never used the word rigged, even though that is what she wrote in her book. Elsewhere in the book, Brazile acknowledged that she was anxious about Hillary's health and that she was shocked by her physical appearance prior to Clinton collapsing in public. Brazile said that she, quote, noticed her face was puffy, unquote, quote, her skin looked pale and papery, unquote, and, quote, her eyes were glazed, unquote. Brazile said that Clinton appeared wobbly on her feet with a rattled cough that prompted Brazile to suggest Hillary see a doctor. Brazile also noted that the explanation of Hillary's collapse, allergies that led to pneumonia, sounded like a lie. This is going on American Liberty Radio podcast. For you, there's more to it, so check it out. It's interesting to me, and this is just my perspective, it's interesting to me that someone in Donna Brazile's position in the DNC would later come out and just tear Hillary Clinton apart. Well, she's got nothing to lose now because, she's out there now. So anyway, we have the words of someone inside the party. Donna Brazile. We have those, we have what she says. Now, we all know that watching the campaign that Hillary passed out several times and coughed like crazy, I think, and this is my unprofessional medical opinion, I think that Hillary Clinton has some very serious medical issues. And she has to be looked at immediately. I don't give one freaking rip about what other people are going to say. Well, she's this and she's dehydrated and blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know. No, folks. No. I've been around enough people to know when they're sick, when they're not feeling good. So I know this stuff, right? Judicial Watch president. Over 1 million illegals voted for Hillary. Voter fraud represents crisis for the Republican Party. Told you. Told you she was destroying both parties. Are you not listening? Are you not paying attention? Because as far as I'm concerned, there has to be some sort of, and I could be wrong in this. I could be overlooking something. There has to be some sort of overview by a independent organization to look at everything there is politically in this country. Okay? That's the way it has to be. Because if we want transparency in our polls and in our elections, if we want an election that is going to be fair, going to be, reasonable and things are transparent, if we're going to want that for the future of this country, then we have to have an independent organization filing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, and we're going to have to get the information from these people directly, from the Republican National Committee, from the Democratic National Committee. We have to, even if we have to raid their offices, we're going to get the information. Because that will be the catalyst, if you will, of shutting down both parties. We don't need political parties in the United States of America. We have 320 million people, and probably a good 65 to 75% of them vote. And some of them aren't even registered to vote. I'm registered, I just don't vote. Why? Because it's a freaking sham, people. Get over yourself and stop being so damn naive to the fact that the electoral system in this country is completely corrupt, and it means nothing going to the polls and going on election day to, fill out that little thing, and it means nothing. Okay? These Democratic National Committee members and these Republican National Committee members are the most corrupt people on the face of the planet. People can yell and scream at me all they want. I have a freedom of speech, and I'm going to use it, damn it. And if people want to send me letters and send me emails and lawyers want to talk to me, no. Here, lawyers, I'm a little guy. I'm my own little network over here in the corner of the world up here in Montana. Let me tell you something. You guys better do your damn job and go investigate the corruption in Washington, D.C. And if your state attorney general won't allow you to do it, go independent. I know a lot of independent lawyers and attorneys and paralegals that do this kind of stuff. And they're not associated with any political party. And guess what? They're finding the information you should be finding, Mr. State Attorney General. So shut your damn mouth and go do your job. Excuse me. There was many years ago, when I was living in Stockton, California, there was a lot of people complaining about the polls, about where you go and vote and all this kind of stuff. And I found out one thing, and that was nobody knows. There was one time when I was voting years ago, I wasn't even 30 at the time. And I went to vote, and it was at a church. And then the next time voting for national votes came around, it was at one of the schools I went to. And then the following time, and I went to houses, I went to community centers, and nobody knows what the hell they're doing. Much like DMV, so what these people do in government is they stonewall, they stall everything, and that's both Republican and Democrat. That's the Progressive Party, folks. Democratic Socialist and Republican Fascist. They stall everything. They gerrymander. Whatever the hell it is, they do. They create larger and longer gridlocks because they don't want to get anything done. Because they know, the people in Washington, D.C., these globalists, they know for a fact that if they put policies out that restrict us, the American people, we would get so pissed off, we would send about 50 million people to Washington, D.C. Well, that's I'll be a little more conservative. If the American people really wanted corruption out of Washington, D.C., I would say 3 million people in the next 3 months by the beginning of the year need to be standing right there in that by that Washington monument right across from the White House. 3 million people. 3 million. Can we do it? Oh, I'm sure we could. If you got up off your ass and decided that America was worth saving. The United States is your home, folks. What are you doing? There's been elections this last few days in certain states. And Democrats who side with Hillary Clinton and side with the globalists are in these offices now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And these people completely and vehemently hate President Trump. What are you going to do? Well, if you can't make it to Washington, D.C., go to your state's capital. I'd like to see let me be a little more conservative here. I would like to see at least 25,000 people standing around the Capitol building in Helena, Montana, yelling and screaming and getting things done instead of, bitching and complaining about everybody else who's not seeing things their way. That's ridiculous, folks. I'd like to see 25,000 people go to Helena, Montana. By the way, the population of Montana is just a little over 1 million people. I would like to see 25,000 people get up out of their chairs, out of their couches, out of their cars, out of their companies, and just go to Helena, Montana, and tell the governor, you're going to do things our way. And if it's not our way, we're going to replace each and every single one of you. Now, how hard is that? That happened before in our history of the United States of America when the capital of the United States was in Pennsylvania. It happened. People literally got so pissed off that they finally, did what they had to do. But no, I think too many people are cowards. They won't do that. They won't. I'd like to see the Billings Gazette report on stuff coming out of Helena, Montana, the capital, with 25,000 people surrounding that Capitol building. I'd like to see it. I've been to Helena. 25,000 people would close down a lot of streets. Okay? But I don't think there's 2,500 people that would do it. I really don't. I don't think there's 250 people that would do it. I really don't. Because you guys that want peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this country and in this state and want the Constitution to be the ultimate law, you guys are a bunch of cowards. I don't even see 250. I don't think that 250 people would be, able to go to Helena and to protest. I really, really don't. Because it's come down to this, folks. We the people. That's what it's come down to. We the people. We have to tell Washington, D.C. and each state house, you're going to do things our way, period. End of sentence. I don't care what color you are, I don't care any of that. It's just whatever. It doesn't matter. We want peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation for all those that are treated respectfully and that we tolerate and that we understand and that we can have a discussion with and we can, sit down across the table and, not only have coffee with, but also enjoy our day with. I don't think 250 people have the guts and the balls to go to Helena and to surround that state house the Capitol and demand that things be done. Because I know that if 250 people went, I would say within about 3 days of continued protest, that number would dwindle to under 100. Because people don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to leave their jobs that long. They don't want to leave their families that long. They don't want to, have that conflict with other people. They don't, because they're cowards. In 1774 it was, or 5, somewhere around in there, 3% of the population of the United States of America at that time, or it was called the British colonies of America of that time, 3% of those people stood up and said, screw it, we're going to take care of what we got to take care of. And folks, if they didn't, we wouldn't be sitting here today. That's just the way it is. I don't even think 25 people would go to Helena, Montana, to demand that things get done. I don't. Because look what happened. You had these people that were totally against Donald Trump. You had these people that were totally, absolutely, positively communist in their hearts. You had these people yell and scream for weeks that there's on November 4th, there's going to be a revolution and we're going to take over the country and we're going to get rid of Donald Trump. Nothing happened. Bunch of cowardly little basement dwellers came out and said, oh, the sun's up. Maybe I'll go back in the basement. You know? Some of them came out and looked around and went, Mom, what's for breakfast? I don't even think two very prominent people from any parts of the state of Montana are going to go to Helena, Montana and demand that things get done for the people. I don't know. I don't think so. I really don't. I know somebody out there screaming and yelling, going, well, why don't you do it? I'm only one person, folks. But one person can make a difference. And I'll even challenge two people right now here in Billings right now. I'm broadcasting right now in Billings, Montana. I challenge two people to contact me and tell me what they're going to do. Are they going to go to Helena, or are they going to scream and yell and go into the State House and say, this is what you need to do, we demand that you do this, and what? Plan out your strategy, because you don't want to get arrested when you're there. I challenge two people from Billings, Montana to contact me and tell me what they're going to do. Once you decide on what day you're going to do it, I want to interview you live on this program. Go ahead. Contact me at American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. I don't think two people are anywhere near, or I should say anywhere in Billings, Montana, or anywhere in Montana. I don't think two people are even willing or able or have the guts or the balls to go to Helena and to tell them, hey, this is what you're going to do. I don't think so. But contact me. Let me know. Plan it out. Get your plans. Get your strategies together. Get it all, finalized and all that. Dates, whatever. Even if you have more than two people. But I'm just looking at two people. I'm just looking for two people to contact me. Even if you have more than two people. If you're going to have people going with you, that's okay. But I challenge two people right here in Billings, Montana. Make the strategy, plan it out, do what you do, set a date that you're going to go up there and do this, and contact me, and I'll interview you before you leave. Live on air. on this program, go ahead. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. I don't see any problem with that. You just let me know. All right? Anyway. There was a lot of articles I wanted to get to, and I didn't because I yammered on. But very important stuff, folks. Facebook wants your nudes to combat revenge porn. Hey, how do you like that one? I can't get into that one too much because of time constraints. Mikhail Thalen over at Infowars.com, 8th of November, 2017. Facebook wants your nudes to combat revenge porn. Social media giant partners with Australian government for controversial pilot program. Facebook is asking its users to send the company their nude photos as part of a new pilot program aimed at tracking revenge porn. Currently being tested in Australia, the program, a joint effort between the social media website and the country's e-safety government agency, will use photo matching technology to stop the unauthorized distribution of sensitive imagery. Those interested in participating must fill out an online form with the e-safety office. Next, the user must send a message to themselves over Facebook Messenger containing the explicit photo before flagging it as a, quote, non-consensual intimate image, unquote. Facebook, according to the Australian Broadcasting Company, will then create a store of, quote-unquote, hash or digital fingerprint of the original photo if another user on Facebook or Instagram attempts to upload the same image. An algorithm will detect the digital signature and stop it from being shared. Yeah, folks, there you go. Backdoor way of censorship? I don't know. But I don't. I have no idea. You guys read the rest of that, draw your own conclusions. Yeah, folks, can it be that the United States of America has just gone like into the crapper? It has. I mean, California already has. California's gone, folks. No. California's gone. Don't worry about it. I know people right now. I've gotten messages and I've seen posts already about people who live in California. They're moving. My friend who owns Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz, he and his wife just went, we're done with California. We're out of here. They sold their house and left. And went to Georgia. Go check him out. Tom Slick, Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz, 926theblitz.rocks. Check him out, folks. California's done. It's done. Throw it in the ditch. California's done. Okay? Folks. I don't know, man. What can I say? There's so much stuff going on that it seems like every 5 minutes something is changing. And in the last 24 hours, things have just massively changed. So stop being so damn intolerant and stop, thinking that you're better than everybody else and allow somebody to at least be a part of a society that's going to be positive and viable and workable and all of that, and stop the freaking conflict, folks. It's it's not only ignorant, it's just completely causing insanity all over the place. So I'm going to go away now. This is American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com, American Liberty Radio Podcast on Facebook, and Patreon.com/American Liberty Radio. This is the American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.